I just watched a video by Stanley in Chicago, who has completed the first video where he interviews, or he has a conversation with his student about Bitcoin and blockchain technology. And then he went on to the ATM. I just watched a video of his student depositing $100 worth of USD dollars to a Bitcoin ATM. That was nice. It was nice to see that. I've never used a Bitcoin ATM. One thing is he had the student deposit to a BitPay wallet. So I told him next time, make sure the student deposits the $100 to their BitConnect wallet address and say that on the camera, because the first video doesn't really talk about BitConnect, which is about blockchain and Bitcoin. It's just the foundation of what blockchain is. However, when we start talking about money now, when you put money in the ATM, that's when you want to start talking about BitConnect, right? And this is where BitConnect comes into play, right? Because now this is where BitConnect starts to pay, right? So when you put the $100 in the ATM, it goes to your BitConnect wallet, your BTC wallet on BitConnect. Now, as far as reimbursement for that part, it's not necessary. Why? Think about this. You give the student $100. The student puts it into their BitConnect wallet. If you want, well, it's not if. Then your student can send you that Bitcoin back to you, right? So that's your reimbursement. All this is that you're just demonstrating, putting the money in. Now, when you get back the $100 from your student, it might be less, but it's Bitcoin. So guess what? Hold on to it. It'll go up in value. So that takes care of that. That alleviates. You see, and until I had the experience of watching the video and seeing everything transpire, I didn't think of that, right? So it's this thing about experience. Experience is a wonderful teacher, man. So when you think too much, you ask too many questions without having an experience, it's being like retarded. You know, I tend to not deal with people like that for very long. It's like you can ask me a few questions, but once I lay it out for you and tell you what to do, or I advise you what to do, I don't really tell, you know. Do it, you know, and then as the process goes through, we'll figure out the questions, you know. So yeah, don't think too much. Think less, do more, right? So the next part of the video is where Stanley, well, the student will do. I already sent the $500 worth of what I've done just now is I've sent $500 worth of Ether to an exchange, right? And so the student will go from Ether to a BitConnect loan and talk their way through the whole, like say, well, right now I'm going to exchange Ether for Bitcoin, and then they exchange the, you know, talk it, you know, right now I'm going to exchange Bitcoin. No, so once they get the Bitcoin, right now I'm sending the Bitcoin over to BitConnect, right? And then I'm going to exchange Bitcoin for BCC tokens, and this is me doing my loan, right? So first, Stanley himself is going to do a practice run to show me what it is that he's going to teach the student, right? So, and he's also doing this practice run with about $10 to show the student what he needs to do. And so once that is done, then I send Stanley $500 worth of BCC tokens, and then Stanley moves on to the next guy, right? And if Stanley's referral wants to do the same thing, go ahead. This is open to anyone. Anyone can do this as long as you're in my downline, of course, right? And so Stanley is not directly in my downline. Stanley is a referral from somebody I referred, right? For instance, someone contacted me who's been referred by Trayvon. And, you know, I referred Trayvon. Trayvon referred that person, and he wants to do the $500 offer. Great. Make it happen, right? As long as you're in the downline, it's all good there. And if you don't have a sponsor and you want to do this, you can add me as your sponsor. So yeah, that's just a quick update. I'm quite excited about this, man. It's so great. You know, I imagine something. I make a video. You know, I didn't have to do any examples. You know, I could have done this myself just to show others what to do. But I thought, nah, man, you know, I don't need to go that far. You know, I don't need to do that. You know what I mean? I'm going to just say it and let somebody else figure it out. So that's great, man. I just wanted to update that and say it's going wonderful. And I'm excited to see more.